I'm Teisha Bader with Shalom TV's news update for Wednesday, June the 19th, 2013. The Jerusalem Post reports that the leadership of Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas's Fatah party expressed its opposition today to any form of pressure from the U.S. government towards the PA regarding the resumption of peace talks with Israel. Earlier today, Abbas briefed the Fatah Central Committee on the latest developments surrounding U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry's peace efforts. An official at the briefing said that Abbas had complained that the U.S. administration was pressuring him to return to talks without any preconditions. Following the briefing, Fatah leadership vowed their full support for Abbas and for his preconditions, namely Israel's freezing of settlement construction, the release of Palestinian prisoners from Israeli jails, and Israeli recognition of the two-state solution on the basis of the pre-1967 lines, before resuming any peace talks with Israel. They also called on Kerry to exert pressure on Israel to, quote, fulfill its obligations towards agreements signed with the Palestinians in order to resume a meaningful peace process. The U.S. Secretary of State is set to return to the region next week. Prosecutors in Hungary have indicted 98-year-old Laszlo Shatari for torturing Jews and deporting them to their deaths during World War II. A spokeswoman for the Budapest Chief Prosecutor's Office said Shatari is charged with the unlawful execution and torturing of people, thus committing war crimes, partly as a culprit, partly as an accomplice. Shatari is accused of beating and whipping Jews while he served as the police commander of a Jewish ghetto in what was then Kassa, Hungary, now Kosice, Slovakia, before sending approximately 12,000 Jews to their deaths by the Nazis in Auschwitz and other death camps. The Simon Wiesenthal Center had named Shatari their most wanted war crime suspect last year, and their work was key in his arrest in Hungary last year as well. The director of the Wiesenthal Center's Jerusalem office said in a statement after the indictment that it was an important reminder that justice for victims of the Holocaust can still be achieved. Shatari, who continues to deny the war crimes allegations, is set to begin to stand trial in 3 months. Meanwhile, prosecutors in Poland say they are reviewing files on 94-year-old Michael Korczak, who is said to have been a commander in the SS-led Ukrainian Self-Defense Legion during World War II. We had reported to you last week about Korczak, who was found living in Minnesota, having entered the U.S. nearly 65 years ago. Polish authorities are trying to see if they have enough evidence to press charges against Korczak and request his extradition from the United States. The Anti-Defamation League has expressed shock over American author Alice Walker's latest book, which it said takes the writer's anti-Israel expression to a new and disturbing level. The latest publication from Walker is a series of essays on her life and personal activism called The Cushion in the Road. 12 of those essays are full of anti-Israel and anti-Jewish ideas, with direct comparisons between Israel and Nazi Germany, including Walker's describing Israel's actions regarding the Palestinians as, quote, genocide, ethnic cleansing, crimes against humanity, and cruelty and diabolical torture, unquote. ADL National Director Abe Foxman said of Walker that she has taken her extreme and hostile views to a shocking new level, revealing the depth of her hatred of Jews and Israel to a degree that we have not witnessed before. Her descriptions, Foxman said, of the conflict are so grossly inaccurate and biased that it seems Walker wants the uninformed reader to come away sharing her hate-filled conclusions that Israel is committing the greatest atrocity in the history of the world. Anti-Israel sentiment is nothing new for the Pulitzer Prize-winning author. Most recently, Walker called on American singer Alicia Keys to cancel her upcoming performance in Israel, calling Israel an apartheid state. Despite the pressure from Walker and others, Keys announced that she will be performing in Israel as scheduled, a move that has garnered praise from many Jewish organizations, including the Simon Wiesenthal Center, who called Keys' decision courageous, and the Conference of Presidents of Major American Jewish Organizations, who today commended Keys for her, quote, steadfast and determined stand for truth and cultural freedom. Keys' concert, which is sold out, is set for the 4th of July in Tel Aviv. And another concert set to take place in Tel Aviv this summer is also under pressure from the BDS, or Boycott, Divestment and Sanctions movement. British 80s pop duo Pet Shop Boys are the target of an aggressive campaign by a British-based pro-Palestinian group called Innovative Minds, who released a poster of the Pet Shop Boys urging them to cancel their concert with the headline, quote, "Open your eyes to the reality of apartheid Israel," unquote. Lead singer of the group, Neil Tennant, responded that he does not agree with this comparison of Israel to apartheid-era South Africa. Tennant said it's a caricature. Israel has some crude and cruel policies based on defense, he said. It also has universal suffrage and equality of rights for all its citizens, both Jewish and Arab. In apartheid-era South Africa, artists could only play to segregated audiences. In Israel, he said, anyone who buys a ticket can attend a concert. Tennant, together with his performing partner Chris Lowe, will take the stage in Tel Aviv this Sunday as part of their world tour. And that's Shalom TV's news update for Wednesday, June the 19th, 2013. I'm Teisha Bader.